Yo, what is up, guys? It's me, Eve, again here, playing Black Beacon, and today's topic is gonna be the marks. We're gonna talk about everything that is about marks, how you get them, how you can disassemble them, all of that. Maybe even talk about some good marks that you might think of using. So, as you can see here, for example, this is the Asian mark that you will be opening whenever you update the character a little bit. It's gonna open, so you can do those marks for every character, and they are giving you a lot of combat power. So, whenever you just get into the ancient marks, you could see all of your stats, you could see effects from each of your mark that you put on your character. You will see all of the stats that those marks give you, but only the big ones. For example, 3-piece or like a 1-pieces are not going to give you this effects that are going to be shown here. In terms of that, if you go into the equip now, you will be able to see rearrange and disassemble. So disassemble means obviously you can exchange either your mark for something like this. This is the material that you will be using to buying the marks. We'll get into that a little bit later. So by disassembling them, you'll get this material and you can buy a new mark if you want to. Obviously you can go for the batch disassembly. So this means you can pick a few of them at the same time and just obtain these material here again. So that's pretty easy. But there's also some other stuff, like for example, let's say I have this one that I want to change stats with, right? So after I upgraded this mark, there's gonna be 3 stats on it. It's gonna be on every mark like that. There's gonna be 3 stats. So if I don't want this mark anymore, for example, I want to change defense and elemental anomaly, for example, and I want to leave light damage, but I don't want these two. One thing you can do is just disassemble them. So now you're gonna get all of these 3 pieces, all of these 3 stats by themselves as an individual 3-piece. Okay, so you'll not lose this one. You'll just get them all by themselves, and then you can just change the stuff up however you want to. So this is very efficient. This is why I really like how they did it, how they did the gear system. This is very efficient. You don't lose anything. In some games, it's like, you make a gear, and if one stat that you don't really like, you can't really change it or anything like that, and then you just need to go for the perfect drop on your grinds and stuff. And here it's much easier. The other way to change these stats is rearrange, but rearrange requires some other stuff. For example, let's say I want to change the elemental anomaly to critical damage, and this is where you will be using this. This is called rearrange blades, and this is the problem here for the free-to-play players, because these ones are really hard to get. For pay-to-win players, it's going to be a little bit easier, but for those who are free-to-play, it's going to be a little bit complicated, because only way for you to get them is from the battle pass. So there's a free version that you get on the level 25 here. You're getting this recarving blade. I've called them rearrange, but it doesn't matter, right? It's recarving, rearranging, whatever. So you're gonna get 2 of them from here. I don't think you get okay, you get another one on 35, and I think that's it. I don't think there was any more than that. So you're only getting 4 of them in the battle pass. If you buy the battle pass again, you're getting much more. So for pay-to-win players, if you're a low spender who bought the battle pass, that's very good, because you're getting a few of those rearranging ones, and that's really efficient. Because sometimes when you're gonna be like, for example, I'm lacking one good stat here. I was really unlucky on this Phoenix Tail. I've been grinding for a few days now just to try to get this one, as well as like I don't really need a crit damage. I would more for example, fire damage and attack here over crit damage. and so it's gonna be pierce, attack, and crit and fire damage for my Phoenix Tail, but unfortunately it's not happening for now. So I'm just leaving this on epic for now, not like getting it to level 3 and just waiting until I get the good stuff. So you can do that to I don't recommend doing it instantly whenever you get something and all your 3 stats are pretty shit. Don't do it instantly. Wait until, for example, you're missing a couple of them. So for example, this one Jade Crane is looking pretty good. I'm happy with this one. For example, here also not bad. Critical damage could be changed, but it's okay. For example, this one looks also very good, so I don't need to change anything there. This one looks okay-ish as well, like changing this for attack would be okay. And this one, for example, changing this one for fire damage also would be really good. But again, never use them for the three ones and the ones. Never do that. Again, those cost nothing, basically. If you go to the store here, in the Talking Redemption, there's a Fate store. So in this Fate store is where you use these material to exchange them for the marks. And usually these 3 ones and like the solo ones also, they cost very small amount, so it's only 100 for one. It's easier to just rearrange them than use your blades on them. Again, it's much more efficient to use those blades on something like these, like 10 pieces or 5 pieces even. But for only one or 2 on different characters, to change those like small stats that you really want to, that you're only missing on your build. Again, because those materials are very low, especially for free-to-play players, I don't recommend using them without an actual need. So if you're missing a lot of stats, then don't use them. Wait until you're gonna be missing like 1 stat, and then you can use it if you're like really unlucky with the draws on the while you're gonna be grinding and buying all of that stuff. So do that. So to get these material that you will be using to buy the marks from the shop, so you will need to play the Tome of Fate. So this is where you can do the story. First of all, it's probably going to be asking you to do the story. After you do the story, this explore thing will open. So in explore here, you can there's a lot of difficulties. So you're going to be doing this first, second, third, and there's also going to be this chest. So after doing every of these ones, you'll get rewards, as you can see here. For example, 150 of those, and like 0 or 1 of these 3Ps that you can get. And there's different rewards on each one of them. There's gonna be a chest. I recommend waiting until you finish all of this 3, and then you can use all of this chest on whatever 3 pieces you're gonna be using more. Usually it's these ones, but I guess that I usually see, and these ones are the best ones. This one is okay as well, but usually whenever like I'm doing the builds, I use one of these 2. So you can use this chest. There's gonna be 10 attempts for you. So each chest will just instantly give you these rewards. Like you'll need to get RNG to get one of these ones, but you'll definitely get the rewards in terms of this material here. So after you finish all of the 3, there's gonna be, this is adventure mode. So there's gonna be another mode. This is page reorganization. So here, this is the required power here, but again, you can finish it very easily, even if you're like on 5k. With Florence, I did it once I was there, and it was pretty easy. And you can easily do that. As well as there's gonna be the chests here as well, so you can sweep 10 chests here too. Other than that, you'll start the battle, you'll finish all of the battles, you'll beat the 3 levels and get the boss fight, you're done, and now you can actually do the quick battle. So in quick battle, everything that you did is gonna be saved in that battle that you just did, and now you can just, on 4x, you can just run it down. So you'll need to have 4 of these ones that you can exchange from Clarity, and now you can use them to fight the boss again and get the rewards. So basically for 4 times you'll get like 800 of these ones. and it's very quick. Like the boss fight is gonna be like lasting for, I don't know, maybe a minute. If you're not really built yet, if you're like less than 8,000, it's gonna be a little bit around there. But other than that, it's gonna be very quick and very efficient. So you're doing like a 1 minute battle, you're getting 800, and now you can go here to the store. In the store, it's going to go to a Tekken Redemption, and here you can use them to get whatever you want to. Okay. So some other stuff that we need to address. There is two options here as well. For every character, there is an option to build the. They already have the builds that the devs basically themselves are showing to you. So if you press here, you can see all of the builds. So there's a recommended marks there. For example, if I go for any character that is not built for me yet. Okay, not here. Let me go to Logus, for example. I've changed her build, so I've put it all onto 0. So now I don't have anything. So here, this is gonna be showing you the recommended build, basically, that you can use on her. As well as you can see it on ancient marks here, recommended. You can see the Sage Heart that is recommended, Turcotte General, and all of the stats that are recommended for these character. But again, it doesn't mean that you can only, you should be playing only by this one, because again, for example, it's showing you the build of someone who is a kind of a support build, for example, and there's some characters that you can build into DPS, some characters that you want to build into supports, some characters you can build into debuffer and buffers, for example, like Azzy and Hifai, that I'm using, for example, Hifai as my sub DPS, even though she mostly is kind of a support. But again, I'm using her like this, and I'm pretty okay with that. In that sense, again, you can change all of the stuff that however you want to. You can choose whatever like stats you need more. For example, if you go to the Florence here again, you can see that they're recommending attack, firepower, boost, and pierce. Sure, this is definitely her best marks, but there's also other way to going, not for these stats, but also going for attack and crit rate and crit damage. Because again, if you're a pay-to-win player, you probably reached, you can definitely reach, I'm not saying you reached it, but you can definitely get to this point. This is I think this is P6, and this is where you get your crit hit rate increase and increase in terms of crit damage. So she becomes more viable for crit damage, and crit rate. So you can put some other stats in terms of like crit rate and crit damage into here, and it's gonna be much more better, I think, compared to something if you're just going pure damage and pierce. So again, that also can work. So again, you can change a lot in terms of these builds, and you don't really need to go for something that they recommend already in the game. You don't need to specifically just go for these ones. It doesn't mean that they're the best ones, as well as different characters require different stuff. And sometimes, again, the game just came out, so it's pretty early. But like in a month or so, if after the new update, after the new characters will come in, there's not going to be nerfs and buffs, then we could already have the perfectly like established builds for each character, and you will be able to make all of them. Okay, so again, effects are gonna be here. There's also this button. This is just purely unequip everything, so that you don't waste your time doing something like this. I don't know, but this is just you're unequipping everything, and this is good enough. So bonuses, this is where you're gonna be seeing all of your bonuses. Wait, let me put some character who is already with everything here. So bonuses, again, this is stats and effects that you can see. The same goes from like here, okay? This is just for you to see that maybe some of these stats that you don't need here, like for example defense, I definitely need to switch it, but I'm gonna do it later. but you can see all of your stats from here. Other than this, this was probably it. I don't think there's anything more to talk about just in terms of a guide onto this ones. So now I'm gonna show you some of the better stuff that you can go for supports and for the DPS. In terms of supports, I definitely recommend Outstanding Herbalist on every support. This is the best thing you can do. For example, if you're using Logus, Outstanding Herbalist works perfectly for her. If you're using Zero as a support as well, also works perfectly. If you're using Hefaya as a support, as well as like sub DPS that you, for example, like me, I'm using the Outstanding Herbalist on her as well, because all team members with the less than full vigor gains a 12% increase in attack power. When the wielder's vigor is fully restored, this effect is cancelled. Again, this is OP as hell, especially for the support, because if you're giving this to Florence, Florence uses her vigor very quickly with her abilities, so it's really strong on her. And whenever you're paying someone up with the vigor, I really recommend to use Outstanding Herbalist. It works perfect. Something that could work as well, River of Oblivion grants the wielder 10% increase in anomaly damage. So this is a little bit of an anomaly characters like Azzy and Fire. Both of them like this one really much, really well. It works perfectly for them because both of them use the anomaly damage a lot. Shining Star, also really interesting. Grant the wielder 20% increase in ultimate skill charge. Again, getting better or faster ultimates is always really good as well, because again, Hefaya's ultimate really boosts the passive damage after she puts out the Ring of Fire. Again, that fire does some decent damage, and again, while that Ring of Fire gonna be there, you can just switch to Florence and do the damage, and enemies are getting swept in a second there. So this is something for you to look forward to get whenever you're gonna be using this on support. You can use this build pretty much on any support if you really want to. Again, there's a few better options. For example, as well, you can use. Let me get into the store here. You can use this serpent, sacred goblet. Sorry. I just call it serpent because there is a serpent here. So goblet, this one, grant the wielder 9% increase in healing. Again, this also is very strong. And if you're going for a pure support like Asti, for her I probably would use that one as it looks really strong, as well as for Hefaya also works perfectly with that one. So again, builds could be very different. You need to decide and look for yourself whatever you want to build. I've put some builds on the previous videos when I was talking about some teams, as well as my favorite fire team that I'm using is Florence, Logus, and Hefaya. And you can do, if you want to have a build there, you can take that one from me, and you're gonna be pretty fine with that. Other than this, don't forget, I stream every day. I don't, not only Black Beacon, but I also play other gacha games on the stream. And if you want to come and see and say hi to me or see me play, please join in. As well as in the Discord, there's a link in the Discord, in the description for a Discord that where I post everything. I post the videos, streams, notifications for everything there, so you will not miss anything. As well as I always announce it beforehand before I start the stream. As well as don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comments, tell me what you think about the gear system. I absolutely love it. I think it's one of the best ones in terms of design, how they did it. Again, grind is going to be a little bit annoying sometimes, depending on, again, RNG, but still, I love it really much. And hopefully you have a great day. I'll see you on next one.